on the state level. Case in point, a nonprofit group backed by Elon Musk is spending over $1 million in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, supporting conservative candidate Brad Schimel over the liberal candidate Susan Crawford. Musk's group has launched attack ads against Crawford for recommending what they consider to be lenient prison sentences from the bench. Crawford has also received donations from out-of-state billionaires like philanthropist and mega donor George Soros, Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois, and LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman. The outcome of the election, which will be held on April 1st, will decide the balance of the Wisconsin Supreme Court, which is then expected to decide cases on union rights, redistricting, and abortion rights, all later this year. Joining us now, Chair of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, Ben Wikler. Ben, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Let's talk here, starting with Elon Musk's influence in this race. We know he bankrolled quite a bit of the Trump operation this past fall. What are you seeing on the ground there in Wisconsin?
From what we can tell, Elon Musk is by far the biggest funder now. He has $1.5 million in TV ads, $400,000 in radio ads, $1 million through America PAC, his door-knocking operation. He wants to buy Wisconsin's state Supreme Court. He's backing Brad Schimel, who's a MAGA extremist, the former attorney general under Scott Walker, huge fan of abortion bans and rubber stamping corruption for Republican administrations, which seems to be a topic of great interest for Musk. And he's up against Susan Crawford, who's the kind of dedicated public servant that Elon Musk is trying to fire from every possible position in Washington's government. So it's now clear that the attack on American democracy and the functioning of government isn't limited to the federal level. Elon Musk wants it all.
Claire McCaskill.
Yeah, Ben, I'm curious, has anybody run ads making sure that the folks of Wisconsin know that Elon Musk, along with his nameless, faceless, deep state bureaucrats that are firing people without any consideration of how important the work is they're doing, do they know that he's doing this? Do the voters understand that he is trying to buy the Wisconsin Supreme Court? And I'm assuming he is not popular in Wisconsin with slightly more than a majority of the people who live there.
So this is what's interesting about this fight. This is the first place where voters get to have a say on whether Elon Musk should control the government and the court system at every level. And among Democrats and among people paying attention, he is profoundly unpopular. He is a polarizing figure who is less popular than any other Republican national figure that we have polled. So voters will be finding out a lot more very soon about how Elon Musk wants to put his pawn, Brad Schimel, on the state Supreme Court in order to prevent any kind of check on his power. That said, there's work to do. Anyone who wants to help should go to wisdems.org, sign up to volunteer, chip in to help Susan Crawford win this race. And if we do, it can puncture the myth of invulnerability that currently surrounds Elon Musk and Donald Trump in this moment. If we want Republicans to stand up to what Elon Musk and Trump are doing, we need to show that they will lose their elections if they keep going along with what the far right is trying to push on them.
Ben, this is Gene Robinson. We see Elon Musk doing the sort of Bond villain thing at CPAC yesterday with the chainsaw and the sunglasses and everything. He's obviously not a popular figure, but are people in Wisconsin, especially Republicans, are they now tying Trump to him so closely that you see any waning in support for Donald Trump, or is MAGA still running strong in Wisconsin?
Trump is nowhere near as popular as first-term presidents usually are in late February. So he is net unfavorable. He's not as unpopular as he's going to be or as he was at the end of his first term. But Elon Musk is absolutely an anchor around his neck. And he'll also be an anchor around Brad Schimel's neck in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race because he's attacking veterans benefits. He's attacking people researching cures for cancer, public education. He's going after people's private Social Security information and tax tax information. These things are horrifying. And across Wisconsin, there are farmers right now who can't move their crops because Elon Musk and Donald Trump have frozen foreign aid. These are things that Americans did not sign up for when they voted to try to bring down costs. So by exposing what Musk and Trump are doing, making the case that this is a chance to put a check on their power, we have an opportunity to mobilize Democrats and people across the political spectrum who just believe in the basics of how democracy and government should function to vote for Susan Crawford and deal a blow to Brad Schimmel and the kind of Musk MAGA agenda that I think will ripple across the country. We just have 39 days to do it. So the time is here.
Chair of the Wisconsin Democratic Party, Ben Wickler. Ben, thank you for joining us this morning. Dave Weigel, we've evoked Elon Musk's appearance at CPAC a couple times this morning. You were there. You saw Steve Bannon make an interesting hand gesture. You saw Musk with the chainsaw and the sunglasses and some rather incoherent answers. We're seeing some polls right now that Musk's popularity already really on the decline. But I assume in that room he was received well. Take us behind the scenes about what you saw at CPAC.
Well, it was rapturous. A bigger crowd. J.D. Vance's early in the morning had a bigger security line than Elon Musk did. But the rumor that Musk was going to be at the conference broke out, and it was confirmed middle of the day. And he is adored by the conservative activists who show up at CPAC for ways that Mike Johnson, I think, articulated, which is that maybe in a self-defeating way for him. As the Speaker of the House, he was telling his interviewer on stage that Elon is doing the sort of things that Republicans have wanted to do for years. They control Congress. I don't know why they're not doing them. But the idea that you needed somebody to go in and smash the system as it exists, incredibly popular at CPAC. And this is something that the people showing up to this conference have waited for generations to do. Each part of this, there are, I think, some dissents on whether it's a great thing to decouple our relationships with Western Europe the way that we're doing. But the idea of going in and slashing government and also picking the targets that he's picking, very popular in that room. We're listening to Ben Wickler now talking about who is being affected by these cuts. Every campaign needs to find a target and polarize it. The target in CPAC was more USAID workers, or let's name the craziest sounding grants we can that went out to Ghana. If we can get gender somewhere in the name of this grant, let's make fun of it. Less so about government employees being fired who might be of some use to farmers, or might be some use to senior citizens, veterans who are being laid off. You didn't really see what the argument might be in 2 months at CPAC. You didn't hear that. You heard this brio and confidence now that what Elon is doing is a generational change. Liberals can't undo it, and Americans are eventually going to love it.
The stark contrast of the rapturous response in the room to those cuts at CPAC versus the frustration we heard at that town hall in Georgia at the top of the show. That dynamic will be fascinating to watch. Politics reporter for 7-4, Dave Weigel. He went to CPAC, so you didn't have to. Thank you, Dave. Staff writer at The New Yorker, Susan Glasser, and former Senator Claire McCaskill. Thank you all.